Today on Softball 360, presented by the ASA, a front row seat at the world's largest softball tourney. It's simply known as McQuade's. Thousands of players and teams rally, and as always, it's all for charity. The ASA Long Haul Bombers Power Tour heads to Texas and the home of the Rangers. For these two Texans, it's like American Idol for softball. We'll explain. Venus Taylor travels to Southern California for the 9th edition of the World Cup of Softball. The ladies of Team USA take on the best softball teams on the planet. Those stories and an update from the junior men's team slather on the sunblock. The summer of softball is here, and Softball 360, presented by the ASA, starts right now.
Excited to bring you the news, features, and the how-to.
All right, it's time to get it on.
Welcome to Softball 360, presented by the ASA. I'm Carly Applin, your tour guide to all things softball. We're going to continue our summer of softball at the world's largest softball tournament. That's right, the world's largest. It's simply called McQuade's, and it's all for charity. Let's head to Bismarck, North Dakota for all the action.
Welcome to the wonderful world of McQuade's, a softball tourney like no other. This is the largest gathering of softball teams in the world. Hi, camera.
You have to see this event to believe it. If you've never been here, it is truly the Woodstock of softball.
For close to 4 decades, softballers have been making the trek to North Dakota. Big crowds are the logical follow-up as thousands flock to Bismarck, making McQuade's a softball happening.
You know, we have a lot of teams here that plan their summer vacation around the McQuade tournament. There's a lot of reasons why teams come here. There's great competition here that comes, and people that win this tournament say, we would rather win the McQuade tournament than even our own state tournament.
McQuade's is well organized with fantastic fields and facilities that attract great competition. But it gets better. All this is done for charity. The tournament is run by volunteers, and all proceeds go right back to the local community.
They're not playing for money. They're here for a good cause. They're here for a good time, and they're here for the camaraderie.
This year, Mother Nature threw a rise ball, but did a hard rain stop the softballers? Heck no.
You can't compete with Mother Nature.
Good old North Dakota beer sausage. Doesn't get better than that.
Teams from across the nation and Canada came and played hard around the clock. While the softball is serious, so are the fun and games. A McQuade's tradition involves a personal cooler to beat the heat on hot summer nights. Coolers in all shapes, sizes, forms, and functions. Some with speakers, and even a custom motorized cooler. This season brought some very special guests. The Wounded Warriors amputee softball team. 1 part inspiration, 2 parts athletic skill, and always completely amazing. Wounded in the line of duty, these American soldiers turned softball ambassadors, giving us all a reason to carry on. We'll meet more of the Wounded Warriors on the next episode of Softball 360. Giving back to local charities and some softball, not a bad combo. For the folks who volunteer at McQuade's, there's no greater reward.
We'll have more on McQuade's a little later in the show, but now it's Stadium Power Tour time as the ASA Long Haul Bombers head to the great state of Texas and the home of the Rangers. Here's a preview.
The saying goes, they do things big in Texas, starting with the Cowboys' Texas-sized football stadium. Talk about keeping up with the Jerry Joneses.
This would be, so you look pretty good in this, I think.
Lovely. If this goes on 360, you're in trouble.
This is
Right next door is Globe Life Park. It opened in 1994 and conjures up images of ballparks from back in the day and seats close to 50,000. Tonight, T stands for temperature. Game time temps in the triple digits, greeting fans in the Lone Star State.
It's so hot, we've got to cool off with the Stadium Power Tour. Woo!
Indoor BP is one way to beat the heat, as the Rangers coaches offer some insight.
If you want to get ready early, get your hands ready early. If you get your hands ready early, your foot will get down in time.
As showtime approaches, 50,000 sweaty fans are ready. In the middle of it all, 2 local ASA Texas softballers with the opportunity of a lifetime. They get to take a few swings with the big show. Do Leaf Nemo and Stewie Snell have what it takes to get to the next level? Will Combat's Johnny Quick Draw McCraw get back on track to the finals? And can Miken's Denny Crine stay on track to crack the threshold of a 4-time championship on the ASA Stadium Power Tour?
You know, I got to go out there. I got my work cut out. I'm chasing everybody right now, so a good number tonight is very important.
What about Crine? The champ is back?
Who?
Crine.
Crine? There ain't no crying in this crap. Oh, Crine, Denny. Never heard of him. Is he still in this thing?
The fireworks are just getting started in Texas, folks.
We'll be back in Texas a little later in the show, and make sure to stay connected with us by logging on to softball360.com, and of course hit me up on Facebook and Twitter. More to come on Softball 360, presented by the ASA.
Still ahead, Miken's Denny Crine heads to Texas as Combat's Johnny McCraw and Big Bad Chris Griner are making a move to upset the returning champ. Venus Taylor is out in the crowd with the fans of the World Cup of Softball as teams from the USA, Japan, Venezuela, Philippines, and more square off in Southern California. Softball is a social sport for sure. For a textbook example, head back to McQuade's, where a one-of-a-kind softball reunion is underway. And leading the charge is the president of the Minnesota Twins. But first, the 2014 edition of the Firemen's Tournament was full steam ahead in Minnesota. Another record-setting weekend as the Bloomington Police took on the Firemen. The Firemen's sells out every year and attracts the top players and teams from North America and Canada, and all the proceeds go to charity. Softball 360 is brought to you by ASA USA Softball, the national governing body of softball in the U.S. By Easton Sports, there is a difference. The difference is Easton. By Miken Sports, elite equipment for the elite player. Miken Sports. By DeMarini. Upgrade your game with the DeMarini Stadium CL22 and Flipper Aftermath. And by OfficialGear.com, the one-stop shop for umpires and officials.